This is Ragnarok. Now, Ragnarok is 2.5 times bigger than the island map on Ark Survival Evolved, and is also a map that is very good for beginners, but the end game can be quite tough and challenging. Now, Ragnarok has some interesting new dinos or creatures, you can actually call them, on the map. Those are the 4 types of wyverns. We got fire wyverns, we got lightning wyverns, poison wyverns, and ice wyverns, as well as the griffins. And you can see the map has a large variety of zones that you can see borrowed from other maps like the Scorched Earth biomes borrowed on this map of Ragnarok. It is a huge map and there's a plenty amount of stuff to explore, and that goes the same for caves. There are so many caves in this map. So of course, this is a complete guide on how you can beat Ragnarok, all its bosses, or actually there's only 2 main bosses, and the 3 mini-boss events that take place in Ragnarok 2. Now this leads up to the 2 main bosses. Now this is the dragon. This is actually the easiest dragon to defeat out of all the Ark dragon maps, because this dragon takes 3 times damage. However, he's not alone. There's this, waiting patiently for you to strike. Okay, let's run. Now luckily, because this map is actually an easygoing map, I recommend you kind of spawn wherever you want, but if you want my opinion would be to spawn in the Highlands area, the top right of the map, because I feel like that would be the best start for myself. Now, if you haven't played Ark before, you're still quite a beginner, I do recommend you check out my island video, because I kind of cover how to build everything up until the endgame stage in that video, so that is going to be the basis for taking on this map. Now I want to talk about something here people have mentioned in comments of my previous guide videos. Is they constantly ask me, what mod is that where you can have all these pins on your map? This is not a mod. Honestly, you just have to hold the map out, and if you're on keyboard, you press the P key. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is for console. If you're a console player and you know this key, please let us know in the comments down below. And all you have to do is type the latitude, longitude, select a color, give the marker a name, and you can pin this location on your map to remember for future. So if you find a nice metal place, a nice place for oil, this is how you can mark them so that you can remember to go back there in the future. Alright, so now I'm going to give you some locations throughout the map for the various resources just to get you started. Of course, these are not all of the locations. I don't even know if they're the best, but upon flying through this entire map, these are locations I highly suggest. So this is one over here on Highland Spawn. When you spawn here, it has the whales, it has metal. It's a great place to start, and you can see these are the coordinates on the screen right now. Another good location for metal is actually over here. You can see these coordinates. You'll see this is actually near one of the pre-built castles of the map. You can see plenty of these structures around, and there's a ton of metal and resources that you'll be getting from this area entirely. In this location right over here, you'll be finding a bunch of metal as well as obsidian. So it's a nice central location to reach where you can find metal and obsidian early game for when you need it. If you're a bit on the other side of the map, here is a great little island that you can come to, bring an Anki, bring some, mining picks and whatever you want to get all this metal on this location right over here. And here's one last location also with a ton of metal on the map, and these are going to be the only metal locations that I'm going to be sharing in this video. Of course, you can find obsidian here as well, so if you're looking for those resources, they're all over this place, so just check nice and thoroughly in the corners. Now, crystal seems to be probably one of the easiest resources to get in this map. There's only 2 locations that I know I can get it on the overworld quite easily. This location right over here, which is above wyverns, so it's very dangerous to get here. You got to make sure you don't aggro the wyverns just to get some crystal here. The easiest spot to get crystal on is actually on this pillar here. You are going to need a flyer, and you're going to be flying down into this location over here. You'll see there's a water thing right below you. You're going to go in here and you'll see there's some crystal here for you to grab. Now there is an artifact cave later on that has amazing amounts of crystal, but it's very difficult though. You can also try your luck at the Wyvern scar or crack in the ground over at these coordinates over here. Now there is sulfur down here, there's metal, I believe there's obsidian around the general area as well on the top, and you can also find crystal down in the crack at the very deeper ends of the crevice. If you're looking for silica pearls, you can obviously search the ocean, some of the rivers. I know some of the rivers here in the middle of the map at this location here has a bunch, or not really a bunch, but has easy access to a little bit of silica pearls that you can find early on just to get your generator and things going for electronics and stuff. You can find a ton of silica pearls as well as black pearls at this location right over here. You can see it's at the bottom left-ish of the map over here, these coordinates. Now when you go in the water over here, you'll see there's all these reeds towards the right side, all just over here, and you'll see there's the silica pearls there, and there's also some dangerous fish and sharks and stuff, so you got to be careful around in this area. I recommend you have something to deal with them here. But there's also black pearls that you can easily get from this. This is probably the easiest location to get black pearls I've ever seen in any map so far. In terms of oil, you can find oil at the Highland spawn point over here. This is one of the reasons why I recommended the location. You'll find these whales, the basilos, on the beach over here, and you can actually harvest these for keratin, spoiled meats, and obviously oil. Yeah, so yeah, you can just find like a few of these just along the beach. I know there's 3 that spawn here, and it's a nice easy start to getting like a lot of those resources sorted. If you want more endgame oil, you're going to have to visit the ocean or go to this location here on the map where there's 2 oil veins. You can actually put 2 oil pumps over here and then just forget about them, and over time just come and collect your oil. If you're out looking for some rare flowers, this location here by one of the castles that were here earlier for the metal, you'll see here all these plants here. When you harvest them, I'm not sure if it's a specific one, but a lot of them in general have a high chance of giving you rare flowers. I'm not sure if there is another good location for rare flowers. If you know one, send the coords down in the comments down below. If you like to rob cementing paste from beavers, then this location, that sounds funny. So this location then is going to be for you. I believe there might be a few dams on the server, on the map entirely. Now you go into these things here, and at the back here you can open it. There's a button to open and access the inventory and take the stuff. Just make sure you deal with the castratis before you take their stuff. Maybe lead them off the waterfall first. If you need polymer, you can either kill the Kairuku penguins over here at this location in the snow biome. Just note that the snow on this map is very, very cold. So you can come here and you just kill the penguins and beat them with a club. A club harvests the organic polymer from them the best. Alternatively, you can always go to the scorched earth area, the just open desert, and you can find mantis like these guys over here. And when you harvest them, you can harvest them with something like a chainsaw or I believe a sword. I think a sword is good for them. Alright, so let's talk about a tame that is going to be essential for helping you get some wyverns in this map Ragnarok. So at this location over here, I found a griffin spawn. There's probably plenty of them on the map where you can find them. So if you find a griffin, this is the trap that we're going to try use to tame it. So 1 stone foundation on the floor, and then 2 double door frames on the one side, a stone fence on that side, and a stone hatch frame right at the very top with another double door frame at the back over there. And then you just have to put a pair of double doors inside the middle here, set to manual if you're using a mod, because you don't want these opening as you get near them. The idea is to open it like this once the griffin is trapped inside, and it basically forces them to be stuck. So you fly the griffin in there, or like, you know, you get it to fly in there, and boom, you just open the door and it is trapped. You can knock it out now and tame it. I recommend feeding it extraordinary kibble or raw mutton if you have those. Otherwise you can just do raw prime meat too. Now the Griffin is a very strong flying mount that's capable of doing a lot of damage. It glides when it moves downwards, and it flies faster than most things can fly in the game, so it's actually quite cool. It just, however, doesn't pick up things that are heavy, much like the RG can, so things like parasols and stuff you're not going to be picking up. But it is cool to note that you can use weapons on the back of it. You can also fly it left, right, backwards, forwards while you're riding it. So that gives you a whole lot of like maneuverability for taming other kinds of creatures in the map. Alright, so now we're going to use the Griffin to get ourselves some wyvern eggs and some wyvern milk so that we can hatch and raise our own wyvern tames. Now we're at the wyvern crack at this location here on the map. Now I highly recommend when you get here, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it risky, you can try flying there and kite the wyverns away and then, you know, just try grab the eggs while they're chasing you, and you know, it's very risky. You can die. People do it with pteranodons all the time. It's not impossible. However, I think it's also nice to actually kind of build a fob. So you basically build a generator, you put some door frames to get it up here on a hatch frame, and then you put around some turrets here, maybe 1 or 2 heavies, just so that you can kill the wyverns as they fly past this location later. I'm going to actually demonstrate this in a little bit here. Just make sure you put bullets in it, make sure it's powered, it's on, set its range to high, and set its target to all targets or just like, you know, wild dinos. And now what we're going to do is get the aggro of these wyverns over here so that we can get them away from the egg so that we can fly in safely, so that once we do pick up the egg, they don't chasing us. Now we just lead them towards the turrets. The turrets take them out very quickly, nice and easy. And in PvE, this shouldn't be a problem at all. And now all you have to do is you go fly downwards and you go find an egg in one of these like nest locations. You can see in these things over here is usually where you'll be finding the wyvern nests with the eggs inside them. You can see there's one down right at the bottom over here. Now when you pick up the egg, any wyvern in the location or near you is going to immediately come and start attacking you. So be careful about that. You should also know that the wyverns in the area, their level depicts the level of the eggs. Now, wyvern babies need milk, so you need a harpoon launcher with net projectile ammunition, and you just net the wyvern. Now, for 60 seconds, they'll be netted here on the ground, so make sure you immediately get off and you start pumping their face or building a trap around them or something just to keep them enclosed in here if you can't knock them out within 60 seconds. Once they're unconscious, you can go into the female's inventory and take wyvern milk. Keep in mind that it's only the females that have the milk. Now, when you're hatching a wyvern egg, you need a ton of air conditioners and things to create heat. So you can either use torches like this, or you can put all the air conditioners. It's really up to you. You're just going to need a ton of them just so that you can incubate the egg. It's also much like the rock drake eggs that we did on Aberration. Alright, so once you see the incubation timer, you should know that your wyvern's going to be born. Once it's born, put the milk in its inventory as well as some food for once it passes like the first stage. I believe it's 10% maturity. Once it makes it there and it can start feeding from the trough, it will be fine, but it's going to need milk to eat and like survive. Otherwise, it's going to die if you're playing on like official settings. If your maturation settings are quite fast, you should be fine. Just make sure you check on their HP every so often. You can also use a snow owl to heal them. Okay, so there's 4 types of wyverns. The ice wyvern, the poison wyvern, which I think looks the coolest. I like the look of the poison wyvern. The lightning wyvern, which is the crowd favorite, and then the fire wyvern, which is also a really good one, right? So let me show you. When you're on them and you right click, you can do an attack. Obviously the fire wyvern is going to do a fire attack. Lightning wyvern is going to do a like laser beam, which is insane. It does like stun damage and stuff, and on players it will destroy them. Poison is great for actually poisoning enemy players and just like, you know, draining their HP just by landing the hit. It's just quite hard though. And then the ice one, it kind of does like a freeze effect here, and this is what it looks like. Now, wyverns also fly quite fast, so they're great for that. Their stamina is something you're going to need to level. They don't take any saddles, so you can ride them directly, but it's very hard to maneuver them when you need to turn because they have an insane turning radius. You can see here, this is just ridiculous trying to turn. So most times in PvP, people are just going to use a PT and just like, you know, yoink you off the back and you're done for it. But if you do get the first attack, it's going to work nicely. Alright, so now it's time to collect all 10 artifacts for Ragnarok. So at this location over here, you'll see there's a waterfall. It's in this area. There's a lot of water over here, but basically next to this double waterfall on the right-hand side over here, you'll see the chords or the directions on the screen. The chords are here, 25, 25 basically, and you'll see there's like a staircase downwards. Now this is the easiest artifact you will ever receive in your entire life. Just bring a pickaxe or something because you just need to break these stones. And right behind those stones, you'll find the artifact of the strong, or maybe artifact of the easy. The next artifact is located above this little waterfall over here. These are the codes 34, 79, and we're just gonna go in here nice and easy. So this is what the outside of the area looks like in case you're looking for the cave, just to give you a broad idea of where this is in case you can't find it. Basically in here, as you go inside this little thing, you're gonna stick towards the left wall, because right on the left, as a joke, it's right over here. The artifact of the brute, also artifact of the easy 2.0. The next artifact up for grabs is not so easy. It's located in the middle of the ocean at 4702.5, off on the middle left side of the map here. It is quite a difficult one to see here, so I recommend trying to be as accurate as possible, maybe making your own GPS. Because it's going to be dark in the ocean, I'm using a mod called Crystal Clear that makes it easy to see through the water. Now, right at this location, all the way down to the bottom over here, you'll see there's like a shipwreck between all these rocks over here. There's also the squids around, so be careful of that. You're going to get into an ocean fight. Now, you'll find the artifact over here on the shipwreck at the bottom here, and this is the artifact of the Devourer. Devourer. Now this next one is going to be a little bit of a maze. It's going to be challenging, so I trust you're going to follow along really nicely. Now this is for 2 artifacts. There's 2 in here. I'm going to show you how to get to the one, and then from the one to the other. So this location over here, this is also where you got the rare flowers earlier. 2242 on the map here. You're basically going to follow this path. It's super simple the way I've lined it out for you. It's going to be dark, so I recommend bringing a torch as well as like a thylacolia or something to fight any aggressive dinos in here. There are megalosauruses is with the megalosaurs. Those ones, not the wood looking ones, the ones that look like deer. So you're just gonna run through here. I've put down like the glow sticks here just to light up the path so that you can see clearly where I'm going. It's gonna be a little bit more challenging for you because it's gonna be quite dark, but essentially we're just going down into the cave here. It's been a straight line up until this point. Once it gets over here and you see the greenery and all the trees, go up on the path on the left over here. There is something you'll have to fight in here. This is what I was talking about. Be careful of these, and then continue running up this path here. And now you're going to hug the wall on the right. You're just going to stay to the right. That over there is a dead end, so don't worry about that. Over here is where you're going to be going, hugging the wall to the right, staying with this wall on your right-hand side the entire time until you eventually see a glowing green here with these mushrooms. Sometimes these megalanias, creatures of Ark, never known defeat kind of creatures that are, that are over there. Jump down to the right over here into this little like chamber, cavern, if you whatever you can call it. And you'll see over here is the artifact of the immune. Now this one is easy to get. That was easy. The next one is Artifact of the Cunning, because you will get lost 200 times. So starting from this Artifact of the Immune that we just picked up over here, we're going to return the way that we just came. So running out over here, taking a right, and you can see we jumped down here from the left up ahead. So we basically jumped down from the left over here. Now from here, you're just going to run straight. You'll see there is like a little water pool with like obsidian-like looking rocks. I think these are obsidian or just normal. No, I think these are just normal stone. I actually can't tell. I don't know what they are. They might be obsidian, they might not be. Now run over them and this path over here, and you're going to run in a straight line over here. You'll see there's two tunnels, one to the left, one to the right. We're going to the one on the left. So just follow along with this. I'm taking my time and showing you as slow as I can. Normally I'll speed this up like 300 times, but this cave took me a while to navigate. So just follow along with me here. Now you're just running along the path here, sticking along the right wall, and then, you know, just following in a straight line up until you get to this little corner over here. So when you get to this little corner over here, you'll see there's an actual location up here. Now you are going to need a crossbow and a grapple to climb up here. So do bring that, and we're just going to climb ourselves all the way to the top here. You might need more than one grapple. Just throw that glow stick so you can see here. And let's go and get to the top. There we go. Okay, so up here, there's 3 holes just like this. So be careful to make sure of the one that you just came. So as you come up the hole, turn to the right, you'll see this pillar over here with all the glowing orange or purple, sorry, the wrong color. And you'll find the artifact of the Cunning, right? So from facing this way, facing the pillar, you're going to go towards the left here to go to that same hole to return out of the cave from the way you came. Because if you go through any of the others, you are going to get lost. Now, I know it's really hard to navigate backwards, so coming down, you're just going to follow along this path over here and just go in a straight line and just hope you don't get lost, and make sure you go left on this path and here. So just follow this and maybe slow down the video if it is going too fast. I've done this like 300 times, so all of this area, like, I understand it now because I like traversed it like for an hour and a half almost. So yeah, this is how you basically exit the cave. I hope that helped. Now this one is going to be a little bit longer than usual because it is quite a long and cold cavern, so bring some nice fur armor. You're going to bring grappling hooks, parachutes, med brews, shotguns, a thylacoleo, something really strong, you know, and these are the chords that you're going to find this cave at, as you saw on the screen. And basically you're going to go through here. I recommend just running through with a parachute and a grappling hook for this beginning part here. If you can angle it nicely, you can do exactly what I'm doing over here. And that is, as you glide into the cavern, you'll see there is like a door tunnel towards the back left, and that is where you're going to be going through here. And if you do this with the parachute, it's nice and easy, and you skip a lot of the stuff here. And then I'm just going to go run nice and easily through here. At this point, you can bring out your thylacoleo. You are going to be dealing with ice worms that are like death worm versions of ice worms, and they have about like 2 to 3k HP, and there's also dire bears in here that have a really high level. So be prepared for a real tough fight, right? So when you get to this bloody wall over here, there's a bear cave on the right. Go to the left, go through the ice, stay with the ice here. You'll see there's a prompt that says bosses available. There's a boss in here, a mini boss. It's an ice queen, the ice worm queen, in fact. All right, so just follow this path. It's a straight line from here, and you're just going to keep heading straight, following along with me. I'm going with you nice and slowly so you can keep up. There's a body on the ground. Keep going straight, and then from here, you'll see there's a guy with like pickaxes trying to hold here, and you're just going to go down into this hole because that seems like a great idea. And we're going to just go down here to our demise. And through here. I feel like I'm going down someone's esophagus. Like, this feels like somebody's throat. This is so disturbing. Okay, yeah, so that's when these pop out, so be careful. Yeah, from this point onwards, they are going to spawn in like 2s or 3s, and quite often all around you, so be prepared from once you exit the esophagus. So from here, it's actually a pretty straight path. So you're just going to go along here. When you get to the end of this cavern, you'll see it turns into the left here, and it goes down like a stairway to the left. Make sure you go towards the left of this cavern, and you just keep heading this direction over here, dealing with all the ice worms that pop out of the ground as they appear. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and follow all the way to the back end of this cavern, and we're going to go to the right, or just, you know, just get stuck underneath this thing. So yeah, you're going to go through the right here, and it's super easy. You literally just follow this entire path. I'm just showing you here. I just sped it up a bit because it's really one path. You can't really get that lost. It's just the death worms or the ice worms that are going to be a bother to you. So here you're going to see some water. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go down into the water. There's a red drop on your left, but what you're going to actually be heading towards is the water. The waterfall in front of you. So the drop's down there, but we're actually going to go this direction here towards all these waterfalls. You'll see if you go along the side over here, we'll actually find a giant waterfall. There's some crystal over here if you need, because there's a lot of crystal over here. And then from here, there is a waterfall that jumps into the arena with the boss. So if you're ready, make sure you have a parachute to get in there. Make sure your tame is ready to throw out at the bottom. You will have time. It's not going to attack you immediately. And yeah, let's do this. So go ahead, jump in, and use the parachute. There is water at the bottom too if you want to land in that. I just don't trust Ark physics. So once you're at the bottom here, it will kind of see how many people you are. Depending on how many people you are, the monster is going to have 10 higher levels and maybe like some stronger stats or something. Now this Ice Queen does have 27,000 HP, so just keep that in mind. It's not too hard. Once you do defeat it, on 3 areas of the room, there will be a red drop that spawns, and it will despawn after a short while, so make sure you go ahead and pick these up here. The final one is actually located at where we're going to be going down. So here, pick this up, and then right behind it, you will see an open pathway that goes down. This is opposite the giant waterfall that you just came down on. So yeah. So you're going to run down all the way here, and you'll find the artifact of the pack with a sleeping Giga, which is completely eerie, and there's some eggs. And just pick up the artifact of the pack, and you can head to the main chamber. Now, as you head into the main chamber again with the waterfall in front of you, on the left you'll see an ice wall. You can just break it with like a hatchet, a pickaxe, a shotgun, whatever you want. Something that does like a damage to something, and you can just break there and just go through this. Now, this will actually be super simple. It will lead towards a water like pool area. It will kind of register you out into the real world. Now, be careful. You're going to fall out into an actual waterfall, and there's a bridge in front of you, and just have a parachute to escape. And that's how you get the artifact of the pack. The next artifact can easily be found in this little area over here. There is a giant pointy rock that you can use as reference. You can see this giant rock over here. Now there is water here, a little waterfall, and you'll see on the left of this waterfall there is like a little hidden shrine temple at these chords over here on the map. So you can come here, and this is how we're going to do this. Now this cave is quite dangerous. There are some insects and bugs here, so you can either bring like a megatherium, bring a torch because it's going to be quite dark as well. Now there are traps here. You see these little circle things on the ground. As soon as you enter, these are traps and will cause like trank dots and or arrows or something to be shot at you. So be careful with that, and just sneak over to the edge. Don't go too far because there is like a little bit of a cliff here. I want to do the easier way for you, so bring a crossbow and some grapples, and we're just going to go straight across here. Now that's it for the traps. There's no more traps beyond just the beginning over there, and then from here you're just going to go across. It will be quite dark over here. I've lit everything up for you nice and easy with the glow sticks, and we're just going to go across here again. Right, so continue along this path here, and then towards the right side you'll see there's like a T-Rex in like spider webs. Towards this right side over here, you're gonna go into this like platform or this area over here. There might be some spiders that you need to fight here, so have like, you know, some weapons ready. And then from here we're going across into this little section over here, and then under you're gonna crouch, and then from here we're going to follow a nice path down towards the temple kind of thing here. You'll see there's like a staircase down here, and this heads directly towards the main temple. So just keep following the stairs here as they loop down towards the left. You also find the bats in here, so maybe bring some med brews in case you get poisoned, or like, you know, an antidote. Now this bridge has a hole in it, so don't fall in the hole, just jump over it. And then continue to this next bridge over here. Now this is why you're going to need grapples and parachutes, because from this point you can either try your luck with parkour with all the lava at the bottom, or you can just do this, parachute, and then just go across like this, because nobody wants to die to lava, right? So this is the area we need to get. Now, unfortunately, the artifact is not located here, but there are a ton of drops all around in this area, so that's quite nice. The artifact you're looking for is actually by the lava over there. You see there's like a face with the lava. Towards the right side, between the two lava things on the right, you're going to go in between here. There's a little bit of a gap in the wall, like in the cliff or the mountain. I don't know what you call this. And through here is the pathway you're going to go down. So we're going to go down here, and there's going to be some lava. There's going to be insects, spiders, and, you know, all the usual critters that you're going to fight and stuff like this. And you'll see there is the artifact of the hunter, and you just need to run, jump, parachute, grapple, however you want to get across, just do it and pick up the artifact. Now, you can leave if you want, but there is an optional boss that you can do, that you can get blueprints that are going to be nice, but it's going to be a very annoying boss to do, and that is a lava elemental golem. Now, if you do want to do that, you're going to be basically looking at that lava over there and seeing these crystals over here with the green crystal down below it here, and you're going to go across to this area over here, and you see this big pile of crystals in front of you. You're going to break that with a pickaxe. Because right behind this, you'll see is a small little area that you got to crouch through here, and as soon as you get in here, the boss is going to notice you, and you are going to have to kill it, right? So you're going to need a rocket launcher with a, you're going to need a few rocket launchers, because this boss is really tough, and you're obviously going to need like rocket propelled grenades to deal with the lava golem that's going to come out of this lava over here. So yeah, I recommend actually, that's it over there, by the way, like right in the front. I recommend actually going to the top over here by the back where there's this crystal and just shooting your rockets down at it. You should note that shooting it in the face only does really, really little damage. You got to try aim for its lower body if you want to get the most damage out of it, like for splash damage. So like shooting it in the back or something like this, you can get splash damage on its feet. You can see that's not a whole lot of damage. And this thing has about, I think, 50 to 60,000 HP. So yeah, you're going to need a lot of rocket-propelled grenades, or maybe even a tribe for this. It's going to be a difficult one for sure. If you are able to defeat it, there will be 4 red drops all around on the platform at the bottom over here, so you can go loot all 4 of them before they despawn. But also remember, you need to loot the lava elemental himself, because it will have a lot of stuff here. So however you get there, loot it, just don't touch the lava yourself, because you'll die to the lava, obviously. So go ahead and pick everything up, and then you can leave. Now, the next artifact cave actually has 4 artifacts. And 2 of them you have to do the cave twice because it's like a pathway. You are going to need sacrifices though, like dodos or a small creature the size of a dodo-ish. I just recommend just bringing a dodo or 2. You're going to need 2 dodos because you have to do each tunnel to get each of the separate artifacts. We're going to start off with the artifact of the clever. So this cave is located in the desert over here, and it's 51.7 by 77.4. You're going to be here at least twice, because you have to do it twice to get the other one, right? So here, we're going to go in. You're going to need a ton of things here. You can bring like a Megatherium or a Thylacoleo for some fighting. You are going to fight a ton of insects in here. As you get here in the start, you're going to need something to light up the way. There's spikes right at the first door, so you get over those without getting stabbed. Press the button that has the G, because we're going to be spelling out a certain word. And as you turn around into this thing here, use your crossbow, grab onto the vines over here, and you'll see there's R. Basically, we're spelling grata, G-R-A-T-A, right? So just do a little bit of parkour on this one. You're going to have to jump on the R like this, and then on the wall to get out like here. And then we're going to go across here basically to where the spikes were, and to the little section here opposite of where that letter was. And then you're going to find this A with a little line on it. You're going to press that button. You're going to see the T as you turn around out of that room, the T, and as you look up over here, you're going to go into this little box at the top here with the grappling hook, and you're going to press the A to spell grata, G-R-A-T-A. And you'll see in the middle there is this thing. Wow, that was perfect. I fell right through it. You're going to go right through there, and we're going to begin a horrible journey of puzzle stuff, all right? There's some traps and everything, which I'm going to tell you about as we get towards them. So this first part, there's this door over here. You do have to go prone. If you're not prone, you're going to get burnt by fire, and it's going to hurt a lot. Now, these are the 2 doors, right? We're going to do the door on the right first. This is the artifact of the clever. Press this button on the left side here to open up that door over here. Now, you do want to be careful. You don't normally go across the middle like I'm going over here. Just make sure you don't be in front of that hand, because in a few seconds, it's going to blow fire out like that. And if you're standing and that hits you, it's going to hurt, and it's probably going to kill you, right? But you also want to be fast, because you want to get through here, because that door is going to close right behind you, just like that. Now, from here, it's super easy. You actually can just go down onto the floor. You just go down onto the floor. You can parkour your way across if you want. It seems scary, but in actuality, there's a floor. It looks like you're falling into deep darkness, but there's a floor. You're okay. It's a trap. You can parkour across if you want. It's gonna be like that. This is just evil, dude. Now, I do know last time I did this in Fjordor and I didn't die and it was a death pit, but this one, you actually can't die. You can see I changed into like survival mode just to show you. And then you press the button on the right here. It's going to open up this door, right? So we're going to go through here. Now, you got to be careful here. The little section in the middle is actually trapped. So there's going to be like javelins and stuff that throws at you. Now, the best way to do this is if you have a good movement speed, you're going to just run and jump and parachute to get across. Or you're going to use something like a Thylacoleo or like a mount that can jump across and get to this side over here without touching anything in the middle. Because there's javelins that are going to fly through the walls. Now there's a button on the right door over here. Press this. Press the button on the right. Now for emphasis, we always press buttons on the right or the second button in order, which I'm going to show you. Just remember that. Don't get too close to that supply drop because arrows shoot at it, by the way. So yeah, make sure you watch this video before doing stuff. The button on the right, you'll see there's two of them. Press the button on the right. This is going to open up the main door. As you go through here, again, the button on the right. Always the button on the right or the second button in the order, right? So you'll see here, there's 3 buttons. From any of the order, the second button. So the one in the middle, in a sense here. And that will open up this door over here. And then you'll see there's a button immediately here. Don't press that one. Press the second one. This button right over here. You'll open up the pathway right next to it over here. And you're going to press the furthest button away from you. So not this one. Even though I pressed it, it actually does another door. We're going to press this one over here. And it's going to open up this pathway over here that we're going to follow. Right? So this one, we're going to press the one on the right again. That's going to open up this pathway. And then in here, you're going to see these 3 on the pillar, the one in the middle. So the second one. And that's going to open there. Now you see there's a button on directly on my right, but there's also insects and snakes and stuff in here. So go ahead and kill them. You can also use your grenades and stuff to try throw and kill them through the wall over there. Because we're going to go into that area where they are. So after you've tried to kill as much of it as you can see you'll eventually get to a part where there's a button in the lower section of the wall. Over here, you can see where that snake came out. There's a button right over there. So go ahead and press this button, this lower button over here, and you'll see behind you a door will open up from the area you came. Just make sure you kill these bats, or you have med brews to heal in case they do poison you, because poison sucks. Alright, so now you're going to run through here, and you're going to follow along this pathway. You'll see directly opposite the room there is like a hole in the ground. This is where you're going to go down. You're going to go down in here. It's safe down here, so don't worry. Just make sure you don't take a lot of fall damage. And there. Now over here, there is a little jump that you need to do here, so don't fall inside the pit. Make sure you just jump across nice and easily. And there is the artifact of the clever. Isn't that nice? Easy, right? No, we're not done. It gets worse. So, okay, so let's do this. So basically, you're going to run towards this other end here. It's all safe. It's nice and easy. As you get here, this door's going to open. There's no gimmicks here. But there is a gimmick here. Now, this is where you require a sacrifice. If you're here with a tribe mate can jump in and it will open up the door on the right for you to exit, or it can throw in the dodo to open up the door on the left to exit. Now, unfortunately, if you don't have anything to sacrifice, you're stuck. The only thing you can do is sacrifice yourself. So come in here with a sacrifice, because otherwise you're not leaving. Right, now we're not done. You have to be careful here. You're going to use a torch. Don't stand on these like square things. These are traps. They will like drop like smoke bombs, grenades, summon insects and stuff, so just don't stand on them. Just like run towards the end of this pathway. You'll see near the end when you get to the door there is a button. You press the button, jump over the trap over here, and now you're just going to go through here. Now this is going to be a little bit of a boss fight, so be prepared. It's not insane, it's not crazy. Basically you're going to be fighting like a ghost wolf and a ghost bear, dire bear. And all you have to do is like aggro, like just like damage one of the tames or like the random passive things over here. You'll hear the howl of the bear and they'll just like spawn in and out around you and you just kill them. This will happen like a few times. You'll kill like a few wolves, a few bears. They're level 50 from what I can tell in my experience. And yeah, once you're done, you'll get this screen. It will say the spirits have calmed, and if you look in one area of the room here, there'll be 2 artifacts now opened. The artifact of the Devious, which you can pick up, so that's 2 artifacts in this cave so far. And then the third one is the artifact of the Massive. Alright, so that was a nice run for 3 of them. Unfortunately, the Skylord is in the door that we did previously. Now, before I show you how to do the Skylord, when you leave after collecting those 2 artifacts, you just leave towards the right-hand side. You'll see here there's like a pathway that's open, and you're going to just follow this pathway down here. It is safe to go down here, don't worry. So go down here, go into some water. I used a parachute because I was terrified of falling into random stuff again. And if you just follow this pathway, you'll see here it leads to the exit. Just again, use a light or torch or something just to follow this pathway all the way to the end, crouch through the stuff, and you will actually end up at a rock that is next to the entrance on the other side. So if I get out here, you'll see the rock is towards our right where the entrance is. Alright, so going into this cave yet again, you're going to have to do the thing spelling Grata, just like we did for the Artifact of the Clever, and get into that point where there was the fire door. So I'm just going to skip towards that part. So as you get to the door that opens up and there's the fire path over here, you're going to take the same path. You're going to head towards the woman who's holding out her hand at the back of the room over there, because there's a button to the underneath of her, like in the ground, that you're going to press to open up the door on the left that is going to take you to the artifact of the Skylord. So you're just going to follow along this path over here. Just stay prone so that you don't get burned, and go ahead and press that button, and then you'll see here the door will open up right over here, and you're just going to go through here. Now this one's going to have a little bit of a swim here, so if you have flippers, you'll be okay if you know exactly where you're going. Otherwise, bring a scuba tank, and it'll basically lead you to this path over here, and you'll see we'll head towards the left. And now be careful, there's some traps over here in this area. We're pressing a button just where I threw this glow stick, so bring out your Megatherium or your dino of choice to fight over here, and you're basically going to try jump over here, but you're going to end up activating the trap anyway. Once the stuff spawns, just go ahead and kill it. When everything's dead, you can press that button where I threw that glow stick earlier. So press that button there, it's opposite the door, and this will open up this big door over here, and you're going to head along this pathway over here. You can then cryo your tame again, and what we're going to do is face the left over here, and we're going to run along the left side, sticking to along like the left wall over here. Just keep running all the way across over here. Jump over this little spike trip or trap thing over there. You can see stuff is spawning behind me. You can either bring out your Megatherium now or something just to fight it, just so that you don't get ambushed early or later on. Once you've defeated those, you can continue heading towards the left of the direction you were following, and you'll see there's a double door over here, a small door on the right. You will hear like some spiky stuff. There's a button there. Don't press that one. You press the button in between the 2 doors over here. It will open up this thing over here. You'll see there's some spikes over here. There's a button towards the right side, the right of that torch over here. Jump like this. If you have nice movement speed, press this button, and now you have to escape here without dying. So try jump and just not die. It's quite challenging though. Go through this door over here. You'll see you can get in here, and you'll see there's 2 buttons we need to press over here. But first we're going to run towards the opposite end here to just let all the grenades fall off of the roof. And then what we're going to do is run all the way back to the beginning over here. You'll see there's a button right at the beginning, and then there is another button right over here. And that will open up this door. There's a red drop over here, so go ahead, you can collect this red drop, and now you need to quickly press the 3 buttons on the wall next to you over here, just next to the red drop, and then continue back the way you came previously, and we're going to go towards here. And press this button, and this button by the door that just raised. And this is going to raise this door over here, and from here you're going to run into this room. And now you're going to run along the right side. Try avoid some of the traps over here. Be careful, that fucking footfall. I almost fell in it. Now, the first door on the right, you're going to go in here, and you'll see there's some writing at the top. You'll see there's a secret button there on the middle left that we need to press. Now, you can dodge the things on top of the roof, which are shooting things, or you can just run as fast as you can with high movement speed to avoid them. But I actually should advise that you dodge them instead. Now, this will lead into a room where there's a ton of stuff to fight. So once you're here, go ahead and kill everything here and head towards the end of the room. You should see these like pillars again. I'm going to parachute, grapple to save grapples, and just jump across like that. And then we're going to just repeat the process, run, jump, parachute, and then grapple on the other side, just so that we can get nice and easily across. And then for the 3rd time, we're going to do the same and make it all across again. And you can save grapples this way by just doing it like that, or just, And then from here, you're just gonna jump, and you're gonna run all the way down. And you'll see the artifact of the Skylord is on your left. Now, wasn't this cave terrible? This is the... I hate this game. This is the worst artifact cave I have ever done out of all the artifact maps, Ark maps I've played. And then this will bring you into the room with the sacrifice. So obviously you have to have your sacrifice dodo. And you're going to basically exit the same way you did previously with the artifact of the Clever, Devious, and Massive. You do have to do the Ghost Wolf and Dire Wolf bosses again to exit, so... yeah, good luck, have fun, and we're moving on. Alright, finally, let's talk about the bosses, the Dragon and the Manticore of Ragnarok. Now, you can fight them in 3 difficulties, obviously Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. These are what you need for basically Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. For Gamma, you just need the artifacts. For Beta, you need all of these dinosaur parts like the Argentavis, Talons, the Basilosaurus Blubbers, Megalania Toxin, Megalodon Tooth, Sarcosuchus Skin, Sauropod Vertebra, Spinosaurus Sails, Thylacoleo Hook Claws, Titanoboa Venom, and the Toothosis Tentacle, right? And those are the amounts that you need for each difficulty. So, since we're doing this solo, we're going to use 19 Therizinosaurs with 1 Utyranus. The Utyranus is going to buff them, just like this. Therizinos are good because they take less fire damage against the dragon because they're herbivores, whereas carnivores take more fire damage by percentage. So dragon equal bad, right? Dragon is the first enemy we need to defeat. We're going to do this in Alpha over here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, like I said previously, the dragon is what we need to kill first, and if you remember at the beginning of the video, the dragon on Ragnarok takes 3 times damage, so it's going to die 3 times faster than any other alpha dragon. It does have 900,000 HP though, so it's going to feel more like 300,000. The Manticore is probably going to be the hardest one to deal with because most of the time it's going to be in the air, and it's also going to summon griffins and rock golems or rock elementals to fight you, which you need to avoid. So make sure you start to use your tames effectively. For starters, you're going to want to try keep the Therizinos following you and then whistle to attack target on the dragon. This is the full stop key on your keyboard if you're on keyboard, if you haven't unbinded it. And you need to take out the dragon way before you think of focusing on the Manticore. So take out the dragon early as possible as the Utyranus. Make sure you do your courage roll to keep them with a nice defensive buff and, you know, just to keep things nice and going, right? So it should be easy getting this part done. Once you defeat the dragon, that's great. The boring part is coming with the Manticore. And also, for some reason, the Therizinos, like, harvested wood, so you might have to jump off and, like, unload them. So once the dragon's dead, you're going to want to whistle passive for your Therizinos, have them follow you, and basically guide them away from the rock golems, and wait for the Manticore to land. Once the Manticore lands, send them all on to attack, but the Manticore is going to do this a whole lot. It's going to be irritating. But just make sure your Therizinos stay with you and don't take unnecessary damage from the rock golems. If you have a tribe and you're doing this with a tribe, you can actually bring some woolly rhinos and use them to do their ramming charge in this fight. It makes it incredibly easy. I actually did this with a tribe of 4 once with just 4 woolly rhinos, and I was impressed that it actually worked. It was during my earlier days of Ark. I should note that you do take poison damage if the Manticore hits you with those things, so make sure you do have some med brews to heal during the fight. I've personally found that when I actually get off and I start shotgunning the Manticore, it decides to land. so maybe try that as a strategy to try get it landing, because sometimes you'll be kiting for a while before it comes back to the ground again, and then you can finally defeat it. It's a really frustrating fight. I hate the Manticore. In case you're wondering, these are the drops that you get for defeating the 2 bosses. You can see how much element you get for Gamma, Beta, or Alpha, and you also get the flags and the trophies of the various kinds. If you beat the bosses in Gamma, these are the tech engrams you're going to unlock. If you beat the boss in Beta, these are the engrams you're going to unlock. And if you beat the boss in Alpha, these are the tech engrams you're going to unlock. If you do notice though, there is no tech helmet and tech boots, I believe. So you're going to have to go to another map to get like the Broodmother boss, because you don't unlock all the engrams on Ragnarok, which is kind of unfortunate. Also, by the way, if you need vegetables, you can just run around here and pick up long grass. They're just like, you know, free to take. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.